Hello, everyone. Wow, time has flown by. It's hard to believe that we're already here at the end of Hack the Six 2021. We hope that all of you had a lot of fun here and that you truly did get to learn something new over this weekend because we as organizers sure did. We had a lot of fun hosting all of you from around the world here at Hack the Six 2021. However, the weekend's not over yet. We have our finalist judging presentations going on right now. Each and every one of you made an amazing project, and it was so hard to narrow it down to our top 8 presentations. Through hours and hours of deliberation, we finally managed to choose our final 8 presentations. However, if you're not selected as one of these 8 teams, please do be proud of yourself. You and your teams have worked tirelessly and worked so hard over this weekend. So please be proud of yourself. I'm sure you don't want to hear me talk anymore, or not for long anyways. So let's move on and start the finalist presentations. First off, I will be introducing your final presentation judges. So first off, from Scotiabank, we have Rebecca. Let's hear it for Rebecca in the hop-in chat. Share your love and share your comments. Next, we have from Intact Insurance, we have Andrew. Share your love and share your comments for Andrew. Then from BMO, we have Tao. Welcome to the final presentations, Tao. Then from Geotab, we have Ibrahim. Thank you, Ibrahim, for being here today with us. From Geotab as well, we have Ruben. Welcome, Ruben. So, the top 8 finalists, in no particular order, we have Team Epilepsy Safe Viewer, Team Backlinks, Team Likio, Team Keeper, Team Remedy, Team Grouper, Team HappyFix, and Team Disimplify. So, shall we get started, everyone? Is everyone excited to hear these top 8 final presentations? Let's see it in the comments. Show how excited all of you are. Show your engagement. Show your enthusiasm, because our first final presentation is here. So, Team Epilepsy Safe Viewer. Let's add all of you onto the stage.
Hi.
Is someone sharing their screen?
Can we start or?
Yes, please do. Please get started.
That.
Please introduce yourself and take it away. The stage is yours.
Sure thing. I'm just going to share my screen then.
Definitely.
Okay. Can you guys see this?
Yes, we can. We can definitely see that.
Awesome.
All right, we're good to go. Hi there. This is our project, Epilepsy Safe Viewer, and today we're here to discuss it as well as the problem that we aim to solve. Epilepsy. So what is it? Well, epilepsy is a chronic disorder that causes unprovoked recurrent seizures. A large number of people that are affected are prone to having seizures through flashing of light as well as flicker of images. There's also people who are disturbed by light exposure and could have other symptoms such as headaches, nausea, as well as dizziness. For these two user groups, watching online videos could be dangerous as it could lead to unknown trigger seizuring content. Any seizure triggering content could be adverse and as such could deter these users from watching videos online, which could negatively impact them on a personal level. Meet our friend Malika. She developed photosensitive light epilepsy growing up and now struggles to watch videos from a professor due to flashing lights. Lack of digital solutions are limiting their struggle, as well as their knowledge and interaction with technology. We needed to create a solution to help Malika and those just like her. And that's why we created ESV.
So what is ESV? ESV is a Chrome extension that provides seizure warnings in advance and applies a filter on YouTube content that may trigger seizures. We built this solution using a Flask server that accepts a YouTube URL, which is processed to determine luminance values in the video at different timestamps using OpenCV. This dataset is then passed to Azure's AI anomaly detector, which determines anomalies in the dataset, which represents the points in the YouTube video where there could be a flicker of lights and graphics. This data is then passed to our extension along with the timestamps to overlay a dark filter over the video during said timestamps to prevent potential seizures. Let's go over the user experience. It first starts off with the user clicking on the YouTube video, which sends a request to our backend server with the YouTube URL. This YouTube URL is then downloaded to our server, and this video is pre-processed using OpenCV and NumPy to create the luminance dataset. This dataset is then passed to the Azure anomaly detector to determine anomalies in the luminance luminance dataset. This anomaly dataset, along with the timestamps, are then returned to our extension where the overlays are placed onto the video. I'll be doing a quick demo of the solution. So it first starts off by pre-processing the video, which will be displayed to the user. And if there is a seizure warning in the video, it will alert the user as such, which they can then click OK to continue along with their experience. Once they start the video, we can see this is how the video would look. On the left side, we can see how the original video looks, where, as you can see, we have there's a huge flashing lights going on. And on the right side, this is how it looks with the potential ESV shield applied. As you can see, this ESV shield filters out, displays an overlay on top of the video, which will essentially cover up these moments of flashing lights.
An additional idea we had was to create a solution for startle epilepsy. Startle epilepsy is when seizures are triggered by sudden noises and loud changes in sound. Our solution would be to determine anomalies in the audio levels and determine when we can lower the volume during these timestamps. This would allow epilepsy users to be able to listen to louder sounds and watch videos with sudden changes in sounds. Our second addition would be to allow the user to personalize their experience by allowing them to choose the strength of the safety filter based on the severity of their disorder. Lastly, we would like to apply this technology to other platforms that we've created. As you can see, this is an example of what our filter could look like on top of a video game, and this is a movie on Netflix. These filters would allow these users to be able to access all sorts of different media platforms without having to worry of having a seizure. Thank you for your time. I hope you enjoyed our presentation.
Wow, such an amazing presentation. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all of your hard work and for your amazing presentation. So now we will now field some questions from all of the judges as they start to trickle in. In the meantime, while we wait for the questions to come in, could you just share with us what your favorite part of this weekend was?
Honestly, our favorite part of the weekend was probably working together. This is our first time really working together in a group and in a hackathon together. So it was a new experience for all of us. And honestly, we had a lot of time building this together, and I felt like we developed deeper connections with each other as well.
Fantastic. That's amazing. The hackathon is truly about teamwork. So we have some questions coming in from the judges. So Rebecca from Scotiabank asks, how did you decide what filter to apply?
So the filter that we decided to apply was essentially a dark overlay onto the video, and we set the opacity to a higher level, such that this actually darkens the video entirely, but still allows the user to actually look at the video itself and see what's going on in the background. What we do want to add in the future is actually some sort of personalization settings. So depending on how bad someone has epilepsy, they can essentially determine or set the level of opacity for the overlay, which will essentially either darken it even more or make it lighter. And this can be personalized to how bad it is for them, epilepsy.
For sure, for sure. Cal from BMO asks, is this a real-time streaming solution or offline video processing?
So a user can use this actually on their YouTube platform. But essentially what occurs before the video actually plays is we actually pre-process the video. So it does get downloaded to our server locally and processed. However, what we found when we were testing out with different YouTube videos was that the pre-processing time took about, at most, maybe 5 seconds. But of course, it depends on the length of the video itself. So there is a little bit of offline pre-processing work that occurs just before the YouTube video actually plays. But the reason we wanted this to occur was because we also wanted to alert the user whether there would be potential seizure warnings in this video prior to the video even starting. And I felt like that way we can give the user the decision to whether they want to continue along and watch the video. So yeah.
Amazing. Thank you for that. And Andrew from Intact asks, can the team elaborate more on the machine learning component of their solution?
Yeah, so essentially what we have is once we download the video using PyTube, we pass it to OpenCV using their video capture library, which essentially, and we give it a filter through, for L, which is luminance. And what it does is that actually determines the luminance values throughout the video based on their timestamps. We then pass the dataset to Azure's anomaly AI detector, which essentially finds parts in this dataset where there are maybe sudden spikes in the light variation or luminance values. And these essentially represents times in the video where there could be a flicker of lights. So we are honestly counting on like Azure AI anomaly detector to be able to find these points in the dataset properly and then return a dataset of anomalies back to us. And then so this dataset also has timestamps with it, which we then pass to the extension, which overlays the filter onto the video. So most of the machine learning bulk is happening on Azure's side, which is the cloud service.
Amazing. Thank you. And then the next question we have is from Ruben from GeoTab. How long does the pre-processing usually take for a relatively short video?
So the videos that we have experimented with, which are about a minute long, these videos, the pre-processing takes about maybe like a couple of seconds, maybe 3 to 5 seconds. So yeah, hopefully that answers the question. But of course, it depends on the length of the video.
Amazing, amazing. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your presentation. And we really do see, oh, sorry, one more question actually just came in. Ibrahim from GeoTab asks, how would the solution scale? For example, 100,000 users hitting the server.
Yeah, so maybe in the future, what we could have is for videos that have already been processed before in the past, not just for one user, but basically a whole variety of users. If a video has been processed by them already, maybe we can already store the anomaly dataset somewhere in a DB. And that way, it's sort of a cache system where the user who wants to view that video, maybe another user who wants to view that video in the future, they no longer have to pre-process it, but rather you can just pull that data from the DB, the anomaly dataset, and then that way the pre-processing time essentially gets eliminated.
For sure. Thank you so much, Team Epilepsy Safe Viewer. Your project truly demonstrates a viable potential in the current market, and thank you so much for sharing that with us.
Thank you for having me.
The best of luck.
Thank you.
So that was Team Epilepsy Safe Viewer. And now the next team that we have is Team Backlinks. Let's welcome Team Backlinks, everyone.
It's not.
Do we have one of your team members sharing the screen?
Yes, I'll be sharing my screen.
Great.
That's it.
Apologies, I'm having some issues allowing it to share my screen. One of our team members was supposed to share it, but he hasn't been able to.
No worries. Take your time. Take
Sorry,
your time.
we're having technical difficulties. Give us a second.
Hey, Taylor, could you?
In the meanwhile, while you sort out your technical difficulties, if one of you wants to answer this question for us, what do you think was the most important lesson that you've learned over this weekend?
Yeah, I think personally, I think the most important lesson we learned when it comes to with developing our product was that it's really important to not just focus on what's technically interesting, but also on how to deliver impact for users and how to build something that users will be able to use in their daily lives. And I think that starts with thinking about what we would use in our daily lives. And I think that's kind of what we learned over the course of the weekend with developing this product.
Amazing. Thank you. Are you all ready to start presenting?
Taylor, did you get the screen share working?
I thought I just started screen sharing. Here, I'll try it one more time. You should be able to see can you see this? Oh,
No.
perfect.
Yes.
All right, here you go. All right, so glad that works. Am I sharing the slides?
We
Yes,
can't.
we see your screen. We see your screen.
We see your screen, but I can't see the slides.
Okay, awesome. Give me one more second.
Don't worry. Technical difficulties are all
Yeah.
part of the hackathon experience. Please don't worry.
That's true. And I think it's good to go. All right, I'm going to share my screen one more time. How's this? Can you see this?
Yes, we
Yes.
can.
Perfect.
Team backlinks. Take it away.
All right, so hey everyone, we're Team Backlinks. And today, let's start. And today, we're really excited to show you what we built at Hack the Six this year. Let's start with defining our problem. Taylor? So we define conversational knowledge first. So workplace chat apps are increasingly common in companies or when working on projects. And there's a lot of knowledge related to these projects, things like best practices and past decisions that are stored in these messages. The problem here is there's no easy way to extract and structure this knowledge, what we call conversational knowledge. Most of this knowledge is simply inaccessible to users in a structured, indexable manner, and it's lost over time. On the other hand, we have collaborative knowledge base apps, things like Notion or Confluence, that allow teams to create a structured record and carefully document their work. This makes it really easy to refer to past work and documentation and have new members of the team easily understand what's going on. So we thought, what if we could you go back, Taylor?
Yeah, go ahead.
So we thought, what if we could create a bridge between these knowledge-based apps that store structured knowledge and these chat apps that have this wealth of unstructured knowledge to allow users to capture a structured record of these discussions. The key insight for this is the concept of backlinks or bidirectional links. So bidirectional links are essentially links that go two ways instead of just one. So for example, if a page called general relativity linked to physics, then from the physics page, we can also see the link from the general relativity page. A traditional link has a source and a link to the destination, whereas a bidirectional link goes both ways with a link from the source to the destination and a backlink the other way. This makes it really easy to create a network of knowledge where the source of all these links is easily visible. So our solution was to have backlinks for messages. Users can add a backlink to a message or by replying to a message, and it will be saved to Notion in a relevant page. It'll automatically take in information from these conversations on Slack or potentially other apps like Discord, and it will collect it into easily readable documentation. So for example, if a user writes, what if we used machine learning with those brackets to signify that this is a backlink? it will save this message along with a link to the original message to the machine learning page in Notion. The benefit of this is that this unstructured conversational knowledge is stored and documented, and it improves team productivity by allowing members to learn from this past discussion and easily look it up. So we use three main technologies, and Adi would discuss them.
Hello. So the three main technologies we used were Go, which was the language we wrote our bot and Notion integration in. We used CockroachDB to store the mappings between backlinks and Notion page IDs. And we used Google Cloud Platform to host the entire project.
And we can move on to the demo now. So I'm going to share my entire screen.
Okay. So hopefully when Taylor's screen is shared, you can see Slack, which is where our bot lives. And you should be able to see our Notion, or hopefully he can, yeah.
So Notion,
right, go ahead.
So usually to have something like this for a project with Notion, Notion's really nice. It has a bunch of different cool features to structure your database. And you also have, on the other hand, Slack, right? So long string conversations about different things. We found a lot of the knowledge is here, never makes it over here. So what we can do is we can look at, since we've already tagged some of these messages, we can even go into Notion right now and look at these various messages about various technologies. So here we're talking about Golang and how our project uses it extensively. And we can even click on these links and jump straight to the Slack conversation with that particular message to read more about what they're talking about.
Right. So let's show it in action. If you'll go to the general channel in Slack, you should see like a half conversation that we made, debating what to use for the backend and languages. So
seems like
they can see it.
Issues.
Right. So in general.
Yep.
Hopefully it shows up. Okay, so Fred says he's okay with using CockroachDB, so I'm going to seal the deal and send a message that says we should use it and the reasons why. And I'm going to include a backlink to CockroachDB. So when I hit enter, it should send the message. It does. And then now, if you'll go to Notion, there's a page called CockroachDB with the message I sent.
And I can go straight back to it. So using this, it automatically turns your conversation straight into documented, structured databases that new employees can go and learn more about the culture of a company, or get familiar with a complicated code base, or even if you're planning an outing with your friends, you could go and use backlinks to store a bunch of relevant information together. So you're never confused where to go.
That concludes our presentation. Are there any questions?
Wow, amazing presentation. It's so nice to see the team dynamic here. I'm 100% certain that the four of you have worked extensively over this weekend to create such an amazing project. So thank you for sharing that with us. In terms of questions, let's just give a little bit for the judges to forward their questions into our channel. But in the meantime, if everyone that's watching this final presentations could just say where they're from or where they're watching from right now in the comments. We want to see hackers from all around the world. So if you can share which country or which city you're from, that would be amazing. We can start with the four of you, if the four of you would like to share where all of you are from.
Sure, yeah. We're actually all based in Oakville, Ontario.
Oakville, Ontario. Great little city, just on the outskirts of the GTA. Definitely. So questions, the first question that we have is one from Rebecca from Scotiabank. To store the backlink, do you need to tag it within the square brackets?
I can take this one. So there's actually two ways to record a backlink. You either, in your original message, tag it using the square brackets, and you can have more than one backlink if you want, and it'll get added to every page in the Notion every relevant page. Alternatively, if after the fact you decide you wanted to backlink an important message, you can reply to that message in a thread with all the backlinks you want included, and the original message will get added to the relevant backlink pages.
Yeah, it does its best to turn your conversations automatically with as least little effort as you need. So all you need is one square backlink thing to tag a whole conversation. But we also had started doing some work on automatically inferring those tags.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing that. Our next question is from Tao from BMO. Is it predefined set of annotation, or is it dynamic content based?
Yeah, so I can take this one. It's actually completely dynamic. So if you, with the demo, the page for CockroachDB didn't exist previously. The moment a user adds a new backlink that's not recognized, it'll automatically create a new page. And then all future backlinks with that tag will be added to that page.
Great. Thank you so much for that clarification. Our next question is from Andrew from Intact. What happens if I accidentally use backlinks in a message with sensitive information, such as passwords or personal details?
Yeah, I think that's a really important concern. That is certainly something we're looking to consider in the future when we move towards productizing this. We think security is definitely a big concern, obviously with sensitive messages like Slack. So yeah, thank you for bringing that up. We'll definitely consider that. So far, we don't have a particular solution to that. Yeah.
Well, you're free to go into the Notion, remove anything that's sensitive. Notion just takes away. There's no trace once you delete the message. It's the database is modifiable in that sense. No worry about losing your password if you're quick to get rid of it.
For sure. Especially in today's age, being extra cautious about the information that we expose to the public is one of the main focuses for any company in terms of security. Our next question is from Ibrahim from Geotab. What's your solution to filtering out outdated knowledge? For example, we start with database 1 and then move to database 2.
So one of the well, I guess there's two parts to this. First of all the information is timestamped, so you can see how it progresses over time. You can see if a particular tag is stopped being used. The other nice thing about Notion is it's really easy to rename pages. It's also really easy to bring another page under a new page. So if you move to a new page, you can still capture all of the old knowledge by just dragging it under the new backlinks page, and that would solve the issue.
For sure. We just have one more question coming in a few seconds. So for those watching right now, we're actually using the Hopin StreamYard Backstage, and we're fielding questions from another platform. So there's a bit of delay between our two platforms. So if we ever have an awkward pause like that, please don't worry. We're not dumb. We're not ghosting you. We're still here, right here at Hack the 6 2021. So our next question is from Ruben from Geotab. How would you go about helping users navigate these databases when they get very large and cluttered?
So Notion's kind of beautiful, has a beautiful solution to it. So they allow you to create a big tree of different knowledge bases. Basically, their whole product, right, is about organizing your database in a way that's super easy to navigate and use, which is why we thought it would be perfect to use it for something like backlinks. So what they have subtrees and embeds that let you group these different backlinks together into sub pages. So all you need to do is click on a certain link to see more information. So it doesn't get too cluttered. It's like folders. Very nice.
That's amazing. And Yeah, it's amazing to see the number of projects here at Hack the 6 2021 that actually has a true viable purpose and can truly create an impact in really any industry. So thank you so much once again, Team Backlinks, for your amazing presentation and for sharing a bit about your project with all of us here. Thank you so much and best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
So that was Team Backlinks, everyone. And our next team that we have is Team Likio. Let's share some love for Team Likio. Are all of you ready?
Yep, it's good. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right. I'm just gonna make sure if my partner's ready. Hold up.
There we go.
Okay.
Hello, everyone.
Shall I begin?
Take it away. The stage is yours.
All right. Hello. Sorry. Hello.
Video gets ready to present.
Whoops.
Can Team Keeper DM me and I'll send you the link to get on stage and get ready. So that's Team Keeper.
Sorry, I just gotta mute something real quick. That's my bad. I'm gonna get ready now. Hello, we are Likio. My name is Nick, and this is my partner, Victor. We have designed a unique and innovative solution that will allow homeowners and insurance companies to monitor pipe systems, which would help prevent potential leakages. The development of this project stems from this crucial fact, that the average cost of water or a freezing claim is over $10,000 US. This is one of the top contributors of insurance claims in Canada. We aim to virtually eliminate this cost with our designed hardware and app interface to protect the interests of consumers. So what's the solution? It's Likio, a system that would allow the user to monitor the status of their plumbing systems. Here's how it goes. We use two types of leak detection hardware, an acoustic leak detector, which monitors for abnormal sounds in pipes, and a water detection probe, which monitors for the presence of water in unwanted areas. For example, if our devices detect a significant change in the sound of the pipes or detect water in an unwanted area, suppose the basement floor, a warning message will be sent to our app. Info is stored on the cloud, allowing for access via our application.
So now let's talk about the hardware. We have designed in-house components in order to suit our purposes. So here we have the Likio device, which features a lithium battery for charging and a custom PCB, as well as a mic and water sensor. And the PCB also has components to fully feature all of our components. So for our demo, we have a limitation because the ESP32 does not have a mic. So we'll be using a Raspberry Pi to kind of simulate the ESP32 with web access. And so for our software, we have done most of the work on the Raspberry Pi to have a auto-run Python script to record audio and upload that through MySQL onto our Google Cloud SQL database. And we also have coded up a Arduino program to use the water sensor to detect water. And we also have built a demo site using PHP to fetch data from our SQL database, which we'll be using for the demo. So here you can just see how the data is being transferred from the simulated ESP32 Raspberry Pi to the Google Cloud SQL and then to our PHP site. And now I'll be showing the demo. So here I'm just opening the PHP site. And as you can see, in the status section, we can see that no detected leaks and that everything is all good. And so what I'm going to do now is essentially update our MySQL database and changing a query that we have already created from the 0 to a 1. And you'll see it here. There we go. So I'm going to be changing the 0 to a 1. And so this, I'm actually using SSH to connect to my Raspberry Pi in the local network, kind of similar to how our device would be for the user, but this will be happening in the background. And here I've updated the entry, and as the website refreshes, we can see that a leak has been detected and that the HTML and CSS will change. Okay. So we have also made a physical water sensor, which is a very simple kind of two wire, and it uses also an analog input on an Arduino. And so you can see here on the serial port that whenever I dip in the water, that leak has been detected, and otherwise it will show normal.
Okay, so now we'll be talking about some business. So by monitoring for leaks, severe damages can be prevented for both the insurance company and the consumer. Rates can be more appropriately adjusted, benefiting the consumer. And our plan system can allow key insurance companies to obtain data such as which houses are prone to leaks or individual risk assessment. This is our potential application design, which will be the best solution for monitoring potential leaks. You can log in, create an account, and set up your hardware components to the app. Once at the main menu, you can see numerous indicators such as detection results and graphs that monitor activities. A status symbol will appear if leaks are to be detected. We also plan to add an additional device manager, search function, and a user profile to ensure the best user experience for the future.
Thank you so much for watching.
Thank you.
Amazing presentation. Thank you so much, Team Likio, for that. Water is truly important for all of us, no matter who we are. So it's really great to see a project about water. Just as we wait for questions to come in, let's ask you a question, just a random question. So we know Hack the Six, it's been quite tiring, throughout this weekend. I'm sure a lot of you have worked extensively hard on your projects and not slept a lot. So what is the first thing all of you will be doing after closing ceremonies? Let's start with the two of you first.
Oh, that'd be definitely first. I need a bit of sleep, but I really think this experience was really enlightening because this was essentially my first hackathon, and I'm pretty ill experienced. But with my partner Victor, through research as well, I learned quite a bit during these past 2 days.
Yeah, that sounds really good. Yeah, probably gonna go to sleep. Didn't sleep last night, so that was very tiring. Yeah.
For sure. And it's so great to be your first hackathon, and I'm sure it would be the first of many to come.
Yeah.
So the questions have popped by. Andrew from Intact asks, have you done research on similar monitoring systems already available in the market?
Yeah, we certainly have. So what we have found is something called a something dog. Sorry, I forgot. Nick, do you
Waterdog,
remember?
I think.
Waterdog, yeah. So what they do is they actually install their devices into kind of the reservoirs in your houses or right beside the water meter. And what they do is kind of detect any abnormal water usage. So I feel like personally that method of detecting water leaks is very invasive because you would have to, and it's time consuming to install. But so what they do would actually, kind of open up the pipe and then install the device between the pipes, right? So for our device, you kind of install it where the pipes are inside the house, and then all you have to do would be drill a hole, and then you kind of with the adhesive you would kind of attach it to the wall, and the mic will be kind of within the walls, and then you're able to detect the sounds, and also the sensor can extend down to the ground, so we'll be able to detect water that way instead of kind of the more invasive methods of installing it on beside your water pump. Yeah.
For sure. Thank you so much for that. As well, Andrew from Intact asks, how many sensors would someone need to have in their house for this to be effective? For example, do you need to have a device in each bathroom, kitchen, etc.?
Yeah, for sure. So we're thinking, so this is only kind of one prototype that we're making, and I feel like the single cost will be very high, but as we mass produce them, they'll become cheaper and cheaper. Um, the idea is that by using a kind of a lithium battery, a lithium-ion battery, the ESP32 or the microcontroller doesn't take all that much uh, current, so it'll be able to last a very, very long time without having to recharge. So we're hoping for kind of half a year kind of usage before we have to charge the battery. So what we were hoping to also kind of have multiple devices in the house, but kind of with what we have now, it would be kind of placed in where a lot of piping would be inside the house, so that we can kind of detect um, a lot of kind of pipes if there's leakage. Yeah.
For sure, for sure. Thank you for that. Tao from BMO asks, what is the kind of sound that the device is capturing and processing? Is it preventive, pre-damage patterns, or after incident, like dripping sound?
Yeah, so he's absolutely correct. So it is dripping sounds, and this is what kind of industry professional plumbing, plumbing professionals do. They kind of have a listening device that will go inside your walls or kind of outside your wall to hear the sounds of the pipes, and it will kind of amplify sounds of dripping. And for us, what we're planning on doing was to kind of set up a neural network using PyTorch in order to have audio classification, but we didn't really get to that due to the time limitation. But yeah, so that's kind of how it works.
For sure. Thank you for that. And now Ibrahim from Geotab asks, oh, sorry, I think I skipped the question. My bad, my bad. Tao for BMO asks, how do we protect customers' privacy for the sound recording device?
Yeah, so actually, I also thought about this. Uh, for the actual product, all the audio files will be deleted from our database as soon as analysis has been done. So kind of using the neural network, once analysis has been done, the data will be deleted from our database on Google Cloud. And so for the actual prototype that we have made in the Python script that we wrote, all the files are immediately deleted after recording, and all the files on the database are also deleted right after kind of the state has been changed. So yeah.
For sure, privacy with customers is our number one priority. I definitely agree with that. Ibrahim from Geotab asks, what's the accuracy of the neural network model that detects the dripping sounds? Sorry about that again. The question was just changed as I was reading the question out. So I'll restart. Is the neural network enough to detect the leaks? Do you plan on adding additional ways to ensure that the detection algorithm is accurate? False positives? What about false
Yes.
positives?
Okay. Yeah. So we have not tested the neural network because we have not set it up. But from what I've seen, a lot of them have kind of 80% accuracy. So what our future plan is to kind of maybe have multiple of these. Once we've been able to kind of reduce the price to a very reasonable amount, we're able to kind of have multiple and then confirm kind of dripping sounds coming from the same spot, so they kind of communicate between each other in order to identify whether or not there's an actual leak. So that will kind of having multiple devices will definitely help with that.
Definitely. I agree. It's really, really important to ensure accuracy so we eliminate the number of false positives. Rebecca from Scotiabank asks, how do the upkeep costs compare to getting the pipes checked by professionals regularly, more or less?
So by upkeep is kind of maintaining the device, correct? So so all the user have to do to maintain the device is just to charge it every we plan on at least having it charged every 6 months. So that's all they have to do in order to kind of get their pipes to keep checking for leaks. Whereas if you have a professional come in, you might have to pay them, you know, at, at, at least probably 40 to 30 bucks $30 to $40 to have them just to come in and then look at the pipes. And plus, it probably wouldn't be a very short task because they would have to check spots all over the house. And when people usually check their pipes is after they've seen the water damage. So what our device does is to kind of prevent the water damage, right? Because that's where majority of the repair costs come from.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your insight and your intuitive questions. And thank you so much for taking the time to share your amazing project with all of us. We hope you had a lot of fun here at Hack the Six 2021, and we wish the best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So that was Team Likio. As well, to all those watching right now, please don't forget to put in the comments what you're going to be doing right after closing ceremonies. The first thing that you're going to be doing after Hack the Six 2021. We want to see all of your insightful responses and all of your amazing and funny answers. So once again, thank you, Team Likio. And the next team that we have is Team Keeper.
Hi there.
Hi there.
Hi. Are all of you ready to go?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Amazing. Let's share some love for Team Keeper. The stage is yours.
All right. Thank you so much for tuning into our presentation. The problem that our team wanted to focus on was the overproduction and over distribution of paper receipts. Paper receipts have been around for a long time as they're an inevitable process of daily purchases. But we've noticed that these paper copies impose a lot of environmental damage. As you can see here, these are the statistics from the annual production of paper receipts in just US alone. And they also cause a lot of health risks associated with reproductive impairment, type 2 diabetes, as well as thyroid conditions. So our team wanted to modernize the process of receiving paper receipts, and our solution was Keeper. And Keeper is essentially a mobile application that allows users to receive, manage, and store receipts in a unifying platform with zero paper receipts needed. So I can pass on to our next teammate to show a demo of our mobile app.
Yeah. So we don't have any extra cameras, so doing a demo would be a little janky right now. But currently, I have with me two Android devices. The one on this side, I'm not sure if that's your left or right based on mirroring, but this is a Galaxy S6, and this is a Samsung A8. And if I click Merchant, I can press Send Receipt. And then by just tapping my phone directly on here, I pressed back by accident. I can beam directly, and I'll send it to my phone right here. And we will receive a JSON file on our customer device right here. So I can log in later, and I don't need to have the app open when I do this, but I can view receipts and see the item that I purchased along with total price, as well as upload to cloud. And so is cloud successfully uploaded. And we can retrieve from cloud in a JSON format. We will be adding a feature later to make this more beautiful. But as you can see, this is an archive of our previous purchases. And that's the basic functionality for now. And we'll add search functions for finding items as well as sorting by date.
So we host all of our data in a Google Cloud. So like I can share my screen and show you guys how that looks like. As you can see, this is the Google Cloud platform, and I'm currently checking out this database, and I can select all from the table. We call it transactions. Here you can see all the receipts that we uploaded, and before it has like 17 rows, and now it has 18 rows. So that means one extra receipt has been updated. So you can see it's just an JSON file that's saved as a string here.
Yeah, and so you can see that our Android app made an HTTP request, a post request to the database. So we did this through Flask as well.
So yeah, you can actually see the log here. So I can, so it first sends an HTTP request to the kind of a front end of the database, which is hosted on Heroku, and then Heroku communicates with the database directly. So I can show you the logs right now. You can see the last one was a GET request that's getting the receipt from the database, and the second last one is a post request for upload receipt. So this is the one that sends the receipt information to the database.
And in the future, instead of doing it manually, we'll have automatic uploads for when you connect to a Wi-Fi or if you're connected to data. But we also allow you the option to store all your receipts on your local device in case you don't trust the cloud or there are any privacy concerns. And so we take privacy very seriously, and we are looking into many options for hosting the data in the cloud very securely. And each post request is tied in with a user ID, but this is anonymized with data such as age as well as gender. And of course, you have the option of not uploading at all, so that you can, of course, keep your receipt secure on your own phone, just like an offline receipt. Yeah. I'll continue. And so I'll share my screen right now. And we had a wireframe going. We didn't have enough time to implement it, but what this will look like in the future is a very simple UI, very similar to Uber, where each receipt itself is a card with a summary of how many items you bought, as well as the total purchase price, and you can search receipts for exact items that you need. And just by clicking on a receipt, you'll be able to have a barcode that the merchant can scan for things such as returns, as well as warranties to validate those, since I know carrying around receipts in your wallet just is a hassle and you lose receipts all the time. So having a 2-year warranty is useless unless you keep the receipt, and oftentimes we lose it. So having it in an archive like this, just as I've shown in the app too, we already have that functionality, is important for you to make the most of your warranties. Yep. And this is our team. My name is Joshua.
I'm William, and I was part of the hardware and the backend engineer team with Josh. And the other two persons, Clara and Tom, Clara focused on front end, and Tom was a network server backend engineer. And I think one of the points that we could go over one last time before the questions start rolling in is that we chose this project because NFC really has the potential to digitalize receipts, especially in Canada and possibly in US, where everyday transactions require physical receipts. And as Claire stated, like there's no really need for any physical receipts anymore, as honestly all the environmental problems going on, and also organization problems that a lot of people face as more receipts stack up. So with more tag devices coming in, such as Apple Watch, Samsung Watch doesn't use it, but there's other Android watches out there that uses NFC tags that could possibly really revolutionize how after transactions, how receipts can be received and basically stored in the app for the user to. Sorry, there's sound going on. So I'm just gonna wait. Yeah, for the user to go back into the app and really analyze to see their spendings in a day, to a week, to a yearly basis, and that will really allow the user or any person using this app to see, what kind of purchases they've made and what kind of categories they've spent.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Team Keeper, for this presentation. It's really, really important to save paper, and your project really does entail all of that. Thank you for that. And now we will move on to the questions. So Ibrahim from Geotab asks, since this solution is aimed to reduce paper waste, what incentives do you have for consumers and businesses to use your platform?
I'll answer that question first. So I'll answer the consumer side. Like we mentioned in our presentation, having a database where you can store locally or on the cloud to have a backup of your receipts is very useful for things such as returns and warranties. So when you need your receipt to go back to a retailer and just scan it with NFC, no hassle. And you can, if you lose your phone, let's say you still have your receipts backed up on the cloud, if you take that option. And there's also the option to search your receipt history for a certain item to see how much you spent on it, as well as categorize your spending. And on the business side, a way that this would reduce costs is that thermal paper for a carton of 50 rolls costs around $100. And so each transaction on their end, on the business end, would cost around between 1 cent to 5 cents just for printing a paper receipt, which is an unnecessary expense on our part. Doing a post request as well as a get request would cost much less than that.
For sure. Thank you for that. Rebecca from Scotiabank asks these two questions. Do you have a solution for shoppers who don't have a smartphone? As well, the second question that Rebecca asks is, what technology did you use to transfer the data between the two devices?
Should I answer that? Yeah, I'll answer the first question first. I think we can repeat the another one, next one after. But yeah, I have a Presto card on me right here. This uses NFC technology, so we could have these printed for, let's say, 50 cents and ship them out. So if you don't have a phone on you, you can just tap it NFC, and you have your receipt sent on the cloud on the business side, directly to your account. So if you're someone that doesn't like to carry around a phone or doesn't own a phone, that's a viable solution that we've thought of and we can implement very easily.
And to add to Josh's point, and by the way, my name is Will. I had to join Josh with his camera because I'm over at his place, so I thought it would be better to join together. So anyway, to continue on his point, as I mentioned before, when we came into this project, we really wanted to change how people buy, change the way people buy stuff in groceries and different supermarkets and stuff, and that includes note phones and possibly wallets, and possibly with any taggable devices such as Apple Watch, or any devices that uses an NFC. And there's quite a bit of varieties out there for the demographic that we're focusing on. So we thought that was viable for us to focus our project on this.
And if you could repeat the second question, that'd be very much appreciated.
Yeah, for sure, no worries. So the second question that we have from Rebecca from Scotiabank is, what technology did you use to transfer the data between the two devices?
I think Tom can answer that very well.
Sorry, do you mean the two different devices or the device to the cloud?
The two different devices and the device to the cloud, if you can quickly outline both aspects.
Yep. For the devices, that was Will and I's job. We did hardware and backend engineering. So to send the JSON receipt between the two devices, so assuming that the business already has the JSON receipt, and we'll add that solution in the future, the way that we sent it was through NFC using Android Beam, which is up to Android version 10. Using Android Beam, as soon as there's any contacts and you unlock your phone, even if you don't have the app open, you're able to send and beam data between two devices. Getting that to work, we had to go through the dev docs on Android developer website, which was very arduous. It wasn't well documented. So we had to tinker a lot with that. That took us about a day and a half, just the NFC part to implement. But once we got past that, doing the cloud and the implementing, connecting the cloud to the database was a lot smoother. And I think Tom can talk about the database as well.
So I just want to add to Josh first. So just if you guys don't know, NFC is short for near field communication, and it's a technology that comes with almost every modern phone, and it's similar to Bluetooth, but it's like it has a closer range. So it's just for this kind of communications.
Yep.
So then, in terms of how it got from the device to the cloud, is as long as the device is connected to internet, it sends a HTTP request to the Python app hosted on the server, and the Python app will interpret what the command mean from the HTTP, and it will query our database for the necessary information for the insertion of new information or to fetch information from our database and then send it back to the device.
Yeah, and so we use MySQL for the database, and we host it on Google Cloud Platform as well.
Thank you so much for your answers to those questions. We have a few more questions for you. Tal from BMO asks, is a receipt supposed to be submitted and transferred by POS?
Yeah, so right now we've used a Android phone, but in the future, then the very next step that we have is to develop a proprietary NFC device that's low cost, low energy, and low maintenance costs in the future as well. And so what could happen, what we envision in the future is that you tap your, let's say your credit card, and then you pay, and then you just tap your phone on the kiosk right beside it, or even on the same payment device if we're able to get like a partnership with Visa in the future. And you just get that receipt sent to you right away at the POS. In the future, again, like I said, if we have partnership with Visa, we could integrate this right into the debit card itself, so you don't need to take out your phone. I hope that answers the question.
Definitely. Thank you so much for that answer as well. Cal from BMO asks again, what is the advantage comparing with email receipts provided by some POS?
I think Clara could answer this question well. It was one of the things we brought up.
For sure. So right now, there are a lot of stores that offer receipts through emails. However, when you're accessing emails, usually you get a lot of emails in one list, and it's hard to scavenge through that to find the receipt you want if you're processing a refund or if you're just trying to check your purchases. So with Keeper, you'll be able to have an overview of all the receipts that you've collected previously, and have a really easy access to that. We also have a search bar, so you can easily search up your receipt by date, by title, by store. Hope that answers your question.
Definitely. Thank you for that. Wonderful. And our last question for your team is, are the receipts that are stored locally or on the server protected so that they cannot be manipulated in a fraudulent way? And this is asked by Ruben from GeoTap.
Yeah, so in our system flow, I'll show a diagram right now. I'll share it. Sorry about this little lag here, but yeah, so each customer will be assigned a unique user ID, and using a hashing algorithm with the JSON, we'll be able to make sure that whatever JSON like receipts they have, we'll add a little tag in the beginning that can be matched up with what's in the database from the merchant as well as what's in the cloud, so that any manipulation of a receipt, let's say you fake a date so that you can return something even though it's past the date, The NFC device itself, of course, this is extra functionality, and we're not cryptography experts, but we weren't experts in Android Studio either. So we can, and we got proficient in Android Studio in 2 days. So I think we can implement this very soon. So that would be one way, just through the user ID and receipts integration. Another way that we could do JSON, make sure that these aren't tampered with, is have the merchant themselves assign a unique ID that is tied to the user as well, so that the merchant can verify on their end. Just a very simple way of having the kiosk number and other metadata such as that.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
I wasn't sharing my screen.
Okay. You can go. You can go. No worries. No worries.
Can you see my screen?
Yes. Yes, we can.
Yeah. So this is what I was talking about here: the user ID plus the receipt, and hashing it, and then sending it through the post HTTP requests, and which should be validated. So each customer will have the option to store it locally, and of course they have the user ID with them. But also, once they send the HTTP request, like they will have to sign in and have it validated against the credentials as well.
In addition to what Josh has said, now we just like send it through HTTP, right? But like later on, when we have more time, we can implement it in HTTPS and use like SSL to encrypt the communication, so that it's almost impossible for others to tamper, to like eardrop on what's going on.
Well, that wraps up Team Keeper's presentation. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to come and share a bit of your project with all of us. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much
for having us.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And now our next team we have is Remedy, revolutionizing medication. Are all of you ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
Yes, sir.
Am I audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
We can hear you.
Okay.
Just give me a second. You guys are seeing my screen correctly, right?
Yes, yes, we can.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Thank you guys so much. Let's get started.
Okay. I'll
Take it away.
go ahead then. All right. Hello, I'm Emery. Before anything.
Hi, I'm Ridwan.
And my name is Steven.
Recently, we actually saw a study conducted by Johns Hopkins University. The study said that in the United States alone, annually 250,000 people pass away due to medication misuse, missed medications, and medical errors. That made medication misuse the third leading cause of death in the United States after heart disease and cancer.
And as you guys can see, that is a very, very big number. And being third in the, leading cause of death, that's huge. And we have to do something to solve it. And that is where we got the inspiration for this project. We are looking to save lives, and we want to have an impact on millions of households and retirement homes across the world. This is where Remedy was born.
Remedy keeps track of what medications you should be taking, what day you should be taking them, and what time you should be taking them at all, using artificial intelligence and facial recognition on OpenCV to recognize which person it is currently interacting with. Best of all, everything from the hardware to software are designed to be incredibly simple and intuitive. First, let us show you the software.
Okay, so I'm going to
I'll
stop sharing
give you
here.
guys I'll show you guys a quick demo of the software. I'll share my screen. Let me know if you guys can see this. The dashboard, the verify that you can see. Okay, excellent. So, this is basically the UI that you have when you're first starting out the application. There are a few things you can do. You can add users, you can delete users. In fact, I'll delete these two people right now. In order to add a new user, all you have to do is add new and fill out the form, add your name, add some medications. So I'll say vitamin C right now. I can say, I don't know, Tylenol. How do you spell Tylenol? Okay, I'll do vitamin. I'll do vitamin A. Okay, and you can change the time, whatever you want. After that, all you have to do is click Save Patient. Normally, what would happen is it would open the camera and take pictures of you to add to the AI. However, when I'm actually inside when I'm sharing my screen or my camera to the stream, it can't access it, and nothing else can access it. So I disabled it for this specific demonstration purposes. Here is an example for what I did previously, and that's basically all you have to do. I took the image previously, so that's how it has the image. And after those like 20 seconds, you're basically set to go. All you have to do is upload it to the Remedy box, and the hardware will take care of the rest.
Okay, let me just go ahead and share my screen again. Okay, share screen. Are you guys seeing this?
Not yet. Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
It is perfectly fine. Okay, thank you. So as Emery said, our software is incredibly simple and intuitive, and honestly, anybody can use it. So on the hardware end, Remedy is even more simple and practical. In order to operate the hardware, the caretaker simply needs to load the matching medication in each of the tubes. If you guys can see it on the camera here. Obviously, right now for our prototype, we only have 5 tubes in the system. But for something that's more commercial and for our final product that'll be helping millions of households across the world, it'll have obviously more options. But after the loading is done, the user simply needs to stand in front of the camera, which is implemented right in this hole over here, and that's it. The user does not even need to touch the device. That's just how easy it is to actually use Remedy. Now, as you can see, this system right here. Let me actually show you guys the video that I have of this right now, because the cables right here, all of this are kind of short, so I can't show you guys a live demo per se, but this video will explain the rest. So basically, here's a dispense mechanism. So as you can see, the small piece dispenses it, and that'll dispense 1 pill out at a time. And if you would like to switch to a different barrel, the computer vision OpenCV, the facial recognition application will send the data to the box, to the Raspberry Pi, and the Raspberry Pi will activate it, connect it to the Arduino serial, and dispense the desired medication. So that's how our system works, as you can see in the background. And that's about it for the hardware. So in the future, we may be implementing a more infrared system that's more reliable. But for the time being, this is our prototype, and I'm pretty proud of the system. So, all right, 1 second. Let me just go ahead and not play that. All right.
Regarding our tech stack for Remedy, we use 2 Arduinos and a Raspberry Pi featuring a machine learning facial recognition system. And for the software, we use PyYQt to create our beautiful, simple, and intuitive user interface.
Developing Remedy was not the smoothest process. After multiple problems where we had the hardware breakdown due to the glue weakening, and we had to rebuild a bunch of the parts, we had the software that wasn't compatible with the Raspberry Pi, but it was compatible with the Windows, so we had to deal with that for a long time. And we had bugs, and even more bugs. But in the end, we were actually able to get the entire system working, and we were very proud of what we've achieved. Regarding business, there's actually nothing in the market like what we have created, with millions of potential people that would have a better life. We can't wait to expand this proof of concept into an actual product that can potentially change the world. This is an innovative step forwards for both the healthcare community and the senior community. With everything considered, I mean, just last year, 250,000 people passed away due to this reason. With all considered, we believe that perhaps this will be the future. Thank you for viewing our project. That's it for us today.
Wow, amazing presentation. Thank you so much for that. And especially as healthcare improves and improves drastically for the future, this is a great product and a great viable solution to address those needs.
Thank you.
Thanks so much.
So now we have some questions for you. Our first question is from Rebecca from Scotiabank. Medications like Tylenol recommend X number of tablets per day for certain ages. Does the system take that into account? For example, if the user wants 3 more tablets than the recommended, how does the system handle it?
I'll take this. I worked on the software. So the reality is we don't really know what each case-by-case basis, what's going to happen on each case-by-case basis. maybe that person had a super rare condition where he had to take 3 instead of the recommended 2, or maybe his doctor prescribed him 3. We actually considered this when we were doing it, but since we're not medical professionals, we don't exactly know what exact medicine for each exact specific age group. We refrained from restricting the person. The most we can do right now is give a warning, so saying this many Tylenols aren't recommended. Are you sure you want to proceed? To at least tell the user that and if they're really, really sure that they want to take more than the specified amounts, or maybe their doctor prescribed it, I don't think we're in a position to tell them to stop, right? So that's what the maximum of what we can do at this point.
And also, just to add on to Emery a little bit, the user, if the way that I interpreted the question, if the user, who is the person actually taking the medication, wants more than the recommended dosage, they can't do that because we have a system in place that prevents them from taking the medication twice. So if we already dispense them the medication, it's not going to do it twice. And the only person who can alter this is the caretaker who has access to the application, and they can just obviously change the number and dispense more, right? And that kind of goes back to what Emery was talking about. He's this way.
Yeah. Okay. Here. Okay. Yeah, that's how we would answer that.
I see. Definitely. It's really important to follow the recommendations and to not go over. Another question that Rebecca from Scotiabank asks is, how does the work for people on the go? How does this work for people on the go? What about the people that need to take their medications with them to work, on vacation?
I will take this actually. So in our system, this is a luxury feature that we obviously didn't have time to implement, but this entire system could be powered off of a rechargeable battery. It's not very power hungry. Sorry, with the Raspberry Pi and everything, it's relatively power hungry right now for our prototype. But in the future, when we're actually using like a professionally built designed electrical system, it's not going to be very power hungry, and we can power it off of some sort of rechargeable battery, which will be very helpful. Right.
Also, to add on to that, our main target audience in this case would mainly be senior citizens who are in their houses most of the time. So even if we had that, we could have that feature in place. Most of our target audience will be in their most of the time, I guess. So, but that can of course be a feature that we can implement in the future.
Adding on to that, if we were going to implement something like this, we would make the product a bit smaller so that it will be more portable.
Mm-hmm. Maybe like a compatible version or something like that, or no, compact version. Sorry, something like that.
Exactly.
Definitely. I agree with that. Cal from BMO asks, what is the use case for machine learning in this solution?
Emery, you can answer that.
Okay, so as far as I understand, he's asking who would be using this, right? So there are actually quite a few use cases that we had in mind when designing this. Of course, there are senior citizens. There are people with potentially Alzheimer's that can't remember their medications. There are potentially young children who don't know how to manage their medication. That might be a potential use case. Other than that, potentially blind people, since they can't actually see the pills themselves. So just filling them once, and then for the rest of the months, then they wouldn't have to deal with sorting the medications every day. That's what we initially had in mind. Also, the thing is, anyone can actually forget their medication. I know my mom, she has like this dispenser. Not a dispenser, but like a box, a classical medication manager. I see her every day. She's filling it out, and I know for a fact that some days she literally forgets to. She sometimes makes mistakes, first of all, and sometimes she just forgets to take them. There's nothing to remind her about it. So both those target audiences and potentially some regular users as well. I mean, you could just place it on like your when you wake up, for example. Let's say you're brushing your teeth, it just dispenses your medication, or somewhere you travel when you wake up or at night. So that's what we had in mind when we were designing it for the use case.
For sure. And I really do see how your team has kind of analyzed and understood your target audience. So our last question that we have is from Ibrahim from GeoTab. What solutions do you have to notify the caregiver and a way to display the current status of the device? For example, no more pills on the device, how many there are, what kind are there, and who's currently using it, etc.
Emery, do you want to
Wanna take this?
Oh yeah, okay. I guess I'll go over the hardware section of this first.
Yeah.
Obviously, when the person walks, we have actually a thing that we forgot to mention in our actual presentation was that we actually have a voice system on the actual box. So when it detects somebody's face, let's just say for example, the computer vision, the OpenCV detects Emery's face, it'll return something like, "Hello, Emery. You do not have to take medication at this time." So if we ran out of medication in one of the tubes, we actually can implement sensors in these tubes. And when the sensor obviously, goes off, that can be IR sensors, some sort of ultrasonic sensors. Either way, when the tube is empty, it can send the app like a notification through the Raspberry Pi. Or on the actual hardware, as you can see, we actually feature an LCD screen right here. It will display like the status of the tubes and remind the caregiver that it's empty. So, yeah.
Adding on to that, we also implemented some Bilingual features so that we also have a Google Translate API so that it can also say the voice prompts in the multiple different languages.
Mm-hmm.
I see. Thank you so much for your presentation. Thank you so much for your insightful answers. We really do appreciate all of you for taking the time out of your days on this Sunday to come and share a bit of your project with all of us. And we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
So that was Team Remedy. And now the next team that we have, everyone, we're almost there. So bear with us, enjoy these last couple of presentations and really just reflect on a bit of how Hack the Six 2021 has potentially helped you or what you learned at Hack the Six 2021 as you watch the next couple of presentations. So now we have Team Grouper. Are all of you ready to go?
Yep, we're ready.
Yep. Amazing. The stage is yours.
Okay. So, hello, we're Team Grouper, and we are representing Vancouver. Team formation has always been necessary for a variety of events such as hackathons, group projects, case competitions, athletics, and much more. It can be difficult to sometimes find a partner or form a group when there's no central platform to do so. Grouper creates a fun experience for users to create and manage their teams, join new events, and meet new people.
Grouper is a team formation app that uses list-based matching to enable users to find individuals or join a group. Our app allows users to list individual skills and interests, which opens a team-making service where users can find groups and individuals to collaborate with. Users of our app can range from individuals in schools, hackathons, or anything that needs the formation of a group or team to operate.
So I'll just really quickly go through a design demo in Figma and a quick technical demo at the end. So we decided to use Figma for our design. We have this puzzle piece design, which is kind of symbolizes coming together. We can see that here's a basic flow of how the user would interact with this application. They have a login screen, and then they have the choice to either create an event. So if Hack the Six wanted to create an event here, they would create the event, and then they would be given an invite code, which they could then send to all the participants, and the participants would use that invite code to join the event. And once they join the event, they're greeted with this dashboard screen where they can see all of the teams that are looking for members. And we decided to go with this recommended approach, which we would use the specialties and the skills tags to reduce the decision fatigue when you're trying to find a team. And then we can actually click into the team here to see all of the individual members who are already in that team and what kind of skills they're looking for, what kind of skills they already have. And then also, if you are a team with that and you're looking for to scout individuals, you can see all of the individuals who are not partnered up yet and just send an invite to them here. And then finally, you can manage your team here in the team page, and then also connect to all of the team members using their social media platforms as well. So I'll just run through a really quick YouTube demo as well. This is a quick technical demo. Unfortunately, Firebase rate limited our requests, so we're no longer able to do a live demo. But we did record this last night. So that's the OAuth flow. And then as a user and you wanted to create an event, you can do that here with this form. And it generates a code for the user, and then you can copy that and then join the event. And once you're in the event, you'll be taken to the dashboard screen, which with your new event here. And then, so there's no teams there yet, but if we go to one that's already created, we can see that there are teams that are looking for people to join. And you can click to request there. And then if you are a team, again, you can just search all the individuals here and then filter on the left as well, and then view your teams here. And you can also modify your profile just to change the skills that you have or the interests that you have as well, depending on the event that you're in. And so just to wrap up, we built our app it's a full stack web application using React and Redux and Chopper UI in the front end. And in the back end, we used REST API with Node.js, Firebase, and Firestore. And then for branding, design, and UI, we decided to use Figma.
So what's next? So for future directions, our team, we still have to build an internal team chat feature for the users' teams. We want to enable more flexibility in the user profile, group management, and increase event customization. And that's all. So thank you. We will be now taking any questions.
Thank you so much for your presentation, Team GroupR. We truly learned the potential of finding amazing teams and how we can all find the best team possible for all of us. So as questions slowly roll in, let's ask a question for myself. So Team GroupR, what do you think was the biggest challenge that all of you experienced over this weekend?
I think it was just, I guess when we were coming up with the idea, trying to contain the scope of the idea, because group formation is something that is kind of universal. Like there's so many applications for it. And we were just kind of trying to decide like what we would focus on. And I think that was the biggest challenge, both in terms of design and just technically as well, just to decide what the best way to approach like a more hackathon style project would be.
Amazing, amazing. Don't worry, at hackathons, part of the experience is just realizing, you know, sometimes I have this amazing idea, but I only have 36 hours. So what can I do to shrink down some of my, you know, things I want to implement to have a fully functional project in 36 hours? And I'm sure based on what I've seen so far, your team did exactly that. So congratulations on that. We have a question from Ibrahim from Geotab. How does your solution improve upon what is already in DevPost, where I'm pretty sure you can filter by skill and send requests to team up?
All right, I think I'll take this question. DevPost is very limited to only hackathons. Our app enables this to be applicable anywhere, where say for example you're looking for a group member in the class. Your professor can easily create an event and then share the group invite code to the class, and then participants can join that event and match with same peers in that class and easily find a group that way. So we think of it as more like an extension to DevPost's team formation, because DevPost is for a specific hackathon, right? So we do want to enable like other applications and other events to also do the same on one app.
I see. Questions are just a bit slow running in today, but as part of the hackathon experience, improvising and making the most of what we have. So another question we have is from Rebecca from Scotiabank. Is this project for a certain feature? Oh, sorry. Are there certain features for certain types of groups? For example, document sharing for schoolwork or calendars for sports teams?
I think there is potential for this idea to maybe, instead of offering all of that in this solution, maybe integrate this feature into other things such as like Canvas or Blackboard for schools in particular, but maybe even for DevPost, where they would kind of manage their their internal document sharing, like their quizzes or their project discussion as well. But then maybe they could integrate with this app and have us take care of all the group formation instead of them having to do that as well. Don't know if you guys want to add on to that.
Yeah, like adding on to that, because we're considering implementing a group chat feature in the future, we can definitely have like more shared calendar as well as document sharing within that internal group. So people that are involved in that group can talk with one another and then like see their schedules and then also share documents.
For sure, amazing to see the versatility of your solution. I think our last question is, how would you market and sell this product? Could you give us a bit of your business aspect?
Yeah, so I think like I can start and then other people might add on to this, but I think our app is really for people to really quickly create an event. It might not be a massive event, but it's really suitable for like in classroom events or small hackathon scopes where people can quickly really create an event and then get people to join without too much overhead. So maybe someone is not used to DevPost or they're not used to other services, they can easily use our app to quickly join an event and then participate in this event. So it's really good for these upstart gatherings and then for people to really organize themselves and then really get going in this event, as opposed to setting up their profile and really having a lot of overhead that might impact the time commitment that they have on other stuff.
For a marketing plan and like I guess like advertising purposes, I believe that like our first stages would be contacting organizers, contacting like varsity sport teams, local ones, of course, communicating with on-campus groups and on-campus clubs and asking them if this would be would quickly demo it and see if like it would be something that they would like for their events, because anything with team formation is everywhere. The advantage of this application is that it's fast. It's you log in with Google, your Google login, Google account, and then you just generate code and that's it. So it's like almost like Kahoot, like Kahoot's invite sharing code or Discord's server invite sharing code. It's really fast. It can be easily you just share that one code. You don't have to like register, create an account, and then you're just done. So that would be our first step. And then based off the success metrics of like these events and hackathons, as well as clubs that use our application, we would have to scale up from there.
For sure. Thank you so much for your insightful answers. And thank you so much for taking the time to share a bit about your project. We hope that you had fun this weekend here at Hack the 6 2021, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, everyone, we're almost there. We're almost there. That was Team Remedy. And our next team that we have is... Oh, sorry. That was Team Group Bar. I forgot to update my slides. I forgot to hit the next button, that one. That was my bad. So that was Team Group Bar, and now we have Team Happy Fix. Our second last presentation. We're almost at the end, everyone.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, great. Hi, everyone. I hope you're doing well. So we are HabitFix, an application that helps you break bad habits. As recently graduated high school students, we noticed that we were often distracted by our phones while studying, which greatly reduced our productivity. To fix this issue, we created HabitFix. We took advice from a Harvard research paper to create a program that would not only help break unhealthy habits, but put healthy ones in place as well. What differentiates HabitFix is that unlike traditional habit trackers, that requires you to manually jot down what you've done, which personally I found to be quite difficult to use for long periods because I'm a very lazy guy and it requires effort of filling out the grids every day. But the only thing HabitFix requires you to do is just open your computer and it will start analyzing your habits.
Alrighty, so how does HabitFix actually work? So HabitFix is made to tackle many of the inconveniences that plague the traditional habit breakers. So many of these other products may require professional installation, which is usually very expensive, and sometimes it only targets a single habit. However, HabitFix, on the other hand, is fairly simple to set up as it only requires a computer with a webcam. And as mentioned earlier, it's very easily accessible for the general public, and it can help you fix a variety of different habits. Every habit or action you do is uploaded to our website, which users can see by logging into their personal accounts. These bad habits include picking up your phone while working, junk food, not drinking water, or sitting for too long. So HabitFix also focuses on two main aspects of habit building, which is reminders and rewards. So reminders, people tend to work better when they're reminded of their bad habits. So the computer will gently remind you by sending you a notification, for example, to get off your phone so you can focus on acing that test. And as for rewards, we use the data that we collect to show users their growth and improvement over time. And users are able to check the website to see how many times they've been reminded in the past week or how they've been improving. And basically just fixing their bad habits and building healthy ones in their place.
So for a quick demonstration, I unfortunately can't show the full thing working because I'm showing my camera and it can't run at the same time. I think that's just a Windows problem. So I'll show you how our website works. So when you have HabitFix working in the background, you can go on our website, and if you log in, let me just log in with my account. Yeah, you'll see a page, and you can go to your stats to see how many times HabitFix caught you on your activity. So, for example, today it caught me on my phone 9 times, and I've been sitting for 8 minutes straight. We haven't been running it very long. So, how we built it, the machine learning aspect of our project uses TensorFlow and OpenCV. So what we did was we wrote a program that would use OpenCV to provide webcam data to TensorFlow, which would then output the user's position relative to other objects. And then we also wrote another Python code, which would determine if the user is performing specific tasks by seeing how two objects are, where the objects are in the picture relative to each other and their motion, and etc. And then we created a Flask server, which would upload that data to our database and also communicate with the front end, so you can see everything. Our front end is built with React, and chart.js was used to display the data that was collected. We're really proud of our project because it has been really effective so far. During development, we left HabitFix on quite a few times, and it did catch us on our phones while we were being distracted from development. So we know that it clearly works. And it was also our first time using TensorFlow, and we couldn't find a project that quite used TensorFlow or any machine learning algorithm for this purpose. A lot of other products were either a physical deterrent, like, for example, installation in your mouth to prevent thumb sucking, or a manual log that you have to either press a button or type something every time you perform a habit, which isn't really good because most habits are done without the person thinking about it.
So what's next for HabitFix? So as with any web application, future steps for HabitFix include deploying into the cloud so users from around the world can access our project. As for our business plan, We know that people are more likely to pay for a product when they can actually get a chance to use it. So we plan to launch a free version that anyone can access with a basic set of features so that the users can get accustomed to our application and, quite ironically, develop a habit of using it. Once they do, they can choose to subscribe to the more premium version with more features and customability for a small monthly fee. On the technology side, we plan to improve the front-end user dashboard, train our object detection models to detect more habits from a webcam, with the ultimate goal of detecting any bad habit you can think of. Unfortunately, one of our members couldn't make it for the presentation today, but yeah, that's it from HabitFix. Thank you.
Amazing presentation. Thank you so much, HabitFix, for your insights and for this product demonstration. We now have a few questions from our judges. So the first question that we have is from Rebecca from Scotiabank. Since the webcam needs to be on at all times in order to function, how will you market that to people? I feel as though it would be a little bit like Big Brother is watching at all times. And we don't want Big Brother to be watching at all times, right?
I'll answer that question. That does sound like a legitimate problem that may deter other people, but we have a few solutions for that. First, we believe that if we push our Python script to a front end so people can see the code, they might be more inclined to believe that what we're doing is good. Because the bulk of the processing actually happens on your computer, and the only thing that's uploaded is a small JSON file, which contains, as of right now, only like 13 integers, 13 numbers. So there's not much privacy concern. So if you can make it open source, let other people and security experts read into the code and determine that the only thing being uploaded to the server is minute amounts of data, we believe that we may be able to tell users that, or show users that our program is safe and there aren't many privacy concerns.
I see. Privacy is very, very important no matter where we are. And a few of the other projects have also outlined privacy as one of the main focuses. So thank you for that. As well, Rebecca from Scotiabank asks, how will you track getting 8 hours of sleep? Sorry, how would you track habits like getting 8 hours of sleep or 30 minutes of exercise per day?
I can answer that again. So our current model needs the person to be on their computer at all times, except when they're sleeping. So we're assuming that the person will be on their computer most times. So this is mostly targeted towards students or people with a desk job that would probably have their computers on for bulk of the day. And it would assume that you are not sitting at your desk when your computer is off. So yeah, and in the future, we hope to bring HabitFix to more platforms. So, for example, it may connect to your phone, so it can see that you're not sitting at your desk all the time. So that way, we can track fitness and perhaps add that onto our data set as well.
Amazing. Thank you for that. And for everyone watching, please do remember 8 hours of sleep a day, 30 minutes of exercise, so we can all live a healthy lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
And the next question that we have is from Andrew from Intact. How many different types of bad habits does HabitFix capture? Is it possible for the user to define new bad habits to track?
I can answer this one. So as of right now, HabitFix only tracks the one that I listed earlier in the presentation. So picking up your phone while working, eating junk food, not drinking water, or sitting for too long. So these are just a few of them. But for the future, we're definitely open to adding more features or tracking bad habits, such as maybe It could really be anything, even like picking your nose or anything like that. So basically, you asked about user input. So we could have like surveys. We could implement surveys and on the website, which asks users for basically their input about like what habits they would want to track or anything like that.
And adding on, because of the way we use TensorFlow, it is actually quite incredibly easy to add more habits. It's just that while we're doing it, we didn't have enough object recognition data due to our time constraint, and our computers weren't that fast enough to uh, train more data sets. But we believe that once we have more models, we can have a pretty easy interface to for the users to add their own habits. So, for example, a user that, for example, listens to music too much might be able to tell the program that if my headset is near my face, so they're wearing their headset, it should remind them. Or if they're touching their face, if their hand is near this area, give a reminder or whatever. So users will be able to add any features they want technically.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. Now for our next question, we have Tao from BMO. Would staying around the computer with webcam be another bad habit?
Okay, I'll answer that again then. Or Boya, you want to answer?
Oh yeah, sure. I can answer that. Yeah. So I feel like because like most of us, right, like we're pretty into like software, so like as like for coding and stuff, like it's kind of like normal for us to be around like our computers for like say like 8 to 10 hours a day. Like in the future, like what like Habifix will try to do is implement a feature that, for example, like if you've been like say like sitting down for like too long, like it will give you a reminder, like a notification on your desktop to say like, oh, like you've been sitting down for like the past 2 hours, like it's time to get up and like take a walk or something like that.
And unlike other implementations, it would do that automatically. So the user, I've seen in other implementations where it doesn't do that automatically. So it just always reminds the user to get up from their desk, no matter if they have just gotten exercise. So I found that in those programs, users tend to ignore the prompts because they know they've already exercised, so they think the prompts are useless. But in our implementation, because it only notifies you if you actually have been sitting for 2 hours, we believe that it'll be better for the user, as they will know that if they see the notification, they have legitimately been sitting down for too long.
I see. Thank you so much for that. Definitely exercise is so important. Another question that we have is from Ibrahim from Geotab. The solution seems to be more directed for individuals. Is there potential to pitch in this to businesses or schools? If yes, what are examples of use cases and how would they work from the business side? Please keep in mind of what Rebecca from Scotiabank mentioned about how Big Brother is watching at all times. One example that Ibrahim could think of is having employees to follow safety procedures.
I can answer that again, or a boy. Okay, go.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. So like obviously, like we don't want our product turning into like the next Big Brother, right? Who's constantly watching you at all times. Yeah, but like as for education, like as for school and businesses, I think there's like a lot of potential in that. For example, like for offices, like their computers can also have like a reminder telling like the employees like, oh, like it's time to take a break or something like that. And yeah, and and like in the future for like this security, right? Like we'll also implement like features that like allow users to choose like what type of stuff that we can actually track from them. So like we only like take the data that like they allow us to get.
Amazing, amazing. And I think there are no more questions left. So thank you so much, Team Habifix, for your insightful answers to your questions. And we hope you truly had fun this weekend, because we sure did. And we wish you the best.
Great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So that was Team Habifix. And finally, last but certainly not least, our 8th and final finalist presentation, Team Disimplify. Let's give a warm welcome to Team Disimplify.
Okay, I'm just going to test my screen share first.
Okay.
Okay, so can everyone see this?
Yes, we can. Yes, we
okay.
can.
So I guess could we start now?
It's yours.
All right.
Hey guys, so we all know that Discord is one of the world's largest social media platforms, and I'm sure that we're all familiar with it, especially since, you know, Hack the Six is using Discord's platform. And so we really sort of improve the capabilities of Discord because we sort of identified that Discord sort of lacked a very crucial accessibility features and made it very difficult for individuals with disabilities to use Discord. And so as daily users of this platform, we wanted to build Disimplify, which is essentially that simplifies the use of Discord. We really, you know, the reason why we made it was a means to expand Discord's reach and also to make it a more inclusive and like a no barriers environment. So yeah, if we look here, we can really preview the 4 main features of Disimplify. So the first one is live transcription. And so with live transcription, we can automatically generate transcripts for voice channel conversations. With live image captioning, we can automatically generate descriptions for images that we upload to Discord. With text-to-speech, it's pretty self-explanatory. You can turn Discord messages into audio. And with live translation, it offers real-time text translation for over 108 languages. So yeah.
Yeah, and now let's go into the live demo because I think that's a bit cooler to see. So I'm going to share my Discord tab, and we're going to try it out. So let's see. Okay, so we can all see this now. I just have a setup Discord server with the bot installed. And I think Arden will start first by showing off some of the image features.
Right. So we built Disimplify, as Aho mentioned, as a means to extend Discord's reach to a greater audience. And one audience that we wanted to, one demographic that we wanted to target were people who are maybe have difficulty seeing close details or perhaps are colorblind. And the way we did this is by effectively transcribing images to capture the image in greater detail. And how this is implemented is in our end product is that our Disimplify Discord bot will automatically scrape every message sent to see if it contains an attachment that is specifically a supported image format. And if it is a supported image format, it's going to make use of Google Cloud's image recognition API to automatically determine and classify the tags that this image contains. And this is going to allow people who are challenged to know what's in that image in greater detail. The second feature that we implemented was a translation feature. So when we were brainstorming, we took a look at brainstorming ideas for to simplify in terms of how we can make Discord more accessible, one of the first things we looked at was Discord's own accessibility settings, and those what we noticed is that they basically had none apart from changing the color and contrast. So one of the things we realized is that what makes Discord great is that we can connect to people who are across the globe, and right from sitting in our own houses. And but one of the disadvantages is that we can't cross language barriers, right? If I want to talk to someone maybe in Europe who speaks Swedish or German, I may not be able to do that because they won't understand what I'm saying. So we made a language translation feature, and the way we can set it up is by using this command, the lang command plus a universal language token. And this token, this one, DE, actually stands for German in that lookup table. And so to demo it, whenever a user sends a message, for instance, hello world, the Simplify will automatically translate that message into the target language. And this this will, of course, allow people who are perhaps speaking German I can converse with them, and I can get, I can now, if I'm, for instance, a business, I have people who are working remotely, I can now manage them or cross work with them with ease. This works even better with our text-to-speech feature. The idea behind this is that we can take any text parsed, any text sent within Discord, any channel, and convert it into an audio format. So we can activate it here using a TTS command. By the way, I should mention that the backend for that the Simplify is built on is for the most part Python, and that's because Python has vast support for the Discord APIs. Of course, unfortunately it was very unfamiliar to us because we are all pretty much first-time hackers, and we're all really familiar with Java, but not really familiar with Python. So it was a kind of a hurdle, but it was really fun because we all had got new exposure to APIs and a different programming language, of course. So here in the TTS channel, if I type, for instance, hello world again, the audio should be captured, I hope, by Hugh, but the idea, and it also works in tandem with the language translation feature. So this will I hope that the audio was captured. It will make it so that the text message is spoken out loud. Next, Hugh and the rest of the team will demo our transcription feature.
Yeah, and this is one of the bigger features of our bot, because in Discord voice calls right now, there's no default way for people who are hearing impaired to see captions, unlike Google Meet, what Google Meet does. So I'm just going to show this off right now. So if I go to any channel, like the speech-to-text channel, I can type the exclamation mark enter, and then tell the bot to join this call called backend design. And now the bot should join, and it should display a message telling everyone that our voice is being transcribed. So right now we're all muted, so they actually can't hear us, but I'm going to allow my team members to unmute.
I think I'll try to demo it for him.
Yeah.
Hello world.
Oh, I actually can't hear. Okay, sorry.
Hello. Hugh, you have to deafen. So now, as you can see on the screen, it's live transcripting. And of course, this has a variety of functionalities, right? First, of course, for people who are hearing impaired, this allows them to converse with their friends or their coworkers. And another one is that with the advent of COVID, many businesses have sought to come to popular online chatting or collaboration platforms like Discord or Microsoft Teams or Slack. And when you're working together in a group, what you may need is the ability to have a log of what's being said. If someone says something really important and your Wi-Fi cuts out, you don't want to have that awkward conversation of saying, what, could you repeat that? And those sort of things. This will improve your workflow and it'll let people reference your ideas better. People who aren't in the meeting or miss it can get caught up much faster. Now, Tori will explain some more of our accessibility goals.
Okay, so before then, I just want to briefly explain the fact that this bot was built using Discord.javascript instead of Discord.python, and that was because the Python library available to the Discord.
Wait, sorry. It was built with Discord .js in tandem with the Python. It was a separate component, not built on JavaScript. It was built with both.
Yeah, so we use Node.js, and that was because Discord.py does not have support for all the voice recording software and voice recording APIs that we needed to use. And also, I just want to talk a bit about our next steps to make this product even more accessible. First things first, we want to build an improved front-end application so anyone can install to simplify with ease. We'd also like to improve our bot's built-in settings and incorporate a database into our backend so we can store user preferences and make our product overall more user-friendly and accessible. And for these user preferences, we are thinking of using built-in Discord features, such as using different roles to accommodate for these adaptive preferences. At the same time, we're also thinking of applying colorblind filters to images for people that are colorblind instead of directly just using image descriptions. All in all, our project emphasizes accessibility for the individual. We, as users of Discord, aim to make Discord a platform that we all enjoy more accessible for everyone. Thank you.
Amazing presentation, this simplified. Discord, has kind of changed a lot of our lives, right? Like we use it for gaming, we use it for communication, we use it to even organize Hack the Six. So it's definitely a great project, and thank you for that. Oh, you don't see me. Okay, now you see me. So we have some questions for your team from our judges. So the first question that we have is from Rebecca from Scotiabank. Do you need to use the exclamation mark command every time, or is the state saved in the chat specifically? Will the language be saved as well?
I can field this one for language. So our bot is built to use exclamation marks in order to to parse if a message is supposed to be taken as a command or not. And the reason it does that is actually so that we can avoid the bot getting into infinite loops with itself. But it can be customized to use any command you want, and it can also be customized instead of being a it can. So the way we have the language translation set up is that it's a toggle. So if you use the language, say German, it does not need to be done for every message. Every message sent after there and after will be automatically parsed in German. So it's a toggle based approach.
Yeah, and for the transcription portion, as long as you type exclamation mark enter into your voice channel, the bot will start transcribing by itself. And once it's done, you want it to stop, you could just type exclamation mark exit and it'll leave the voice channel. So it's also a toggle based system.
Amazing. Thank you so much for the clarification. Another question that we have is from Ibrahim from GeoTab. Obviously, no text-to-speech neural network is perfect. Words might be wrong, grammar might be wrong. Is it possible to edit and correct the transcription or translation in the text-to-text example?
Sorry, was that question for the speech-to-text transcription?
So let me read it again for you. Obviously, no text-to-speech neural network is perfect. Words might be wrong. Grammar might be wrong. Is it possible to edit and correct the transcription or translation in the text-to-text example?
Okay. So we use Google Cloud's translation and transcription APIs. So if we had more time, we could potentially provide data sets to actually train the neural networks. But right now, we just use their default version. So yeah, you can go on, Arden.
Also, with respect to changing them, we actually considered user privacy a lot in this regard, because taking text or voice and storing them for later, like say manual transcription, can be dangerous, because we're not actually, you have to ask for permission, and companies will have maybe issues with that because they have non-disclosure agreements, and if those ever get leaked out, those audio files ever get leaked out, that can cause damage to them. So our approach for this bot was that we wanted to store pretty much as little data as possible. Discord doesn't allow us to allow, like, for instance, Hugh cannot edit the message sent by the bot, but if we one of the extensions we want to do is to add a backend that can, with of course appropriate encryption and login user identity management, allow servers or allow companies to jump in and look at their transcriptions and edit them there. So Discord natively doesn't support that feature. For instance, if you actually look at the screen right now, I think some of that text has not been, voice to text has not been translated perfectly. So Discord doesn't allow us natively to use any of their APIs to change those messages from in an easy way, I guess. So that would be the answer to that question.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. And the last question that we have for your team is, are there plans to generalize this to other chat apps such as Slack?
So personally, at least, I don't use Slack too often, although I do use it a bit. And from my knowledge, it actually we haven't had any plans to specify it for Slack individually, but we have had plans to just make a kind of toolkit for a lot of social media platforms. For example, chat platforms such as Instagram, Messenger, and possibly Slack in the future as well.
Sounds great. Sounds great. We look forward to that, to seeing this simplify on Slack or other platforms as well. But those are all of the questions that we have for Team Dissimplify. Thank you so much for taking the time out of your Sunday to share a bit about your project, and we hope you had fun at Hack the Six.
Thank you so much. I had loads of fun. Have a good day.
Yeah, thank you so
Take
much.
care. Thank you. So that marks all 8 finalist presentations. We hope all of you watching at home or wherever you are had a lot of fun learning and watching these presentations, because I sure as did. I learned so much from Discord bots to saving water, and my mind is completely blown. I cannot believe that these projects were created within 36 hours. As well, thank you so much to all of our judges, all of our final judges, all of our preliminary judges for taking the time out of your busy Sundays to mark and judge our amazing projects. Thank you so much to our final judges, Tal from BMO, Andrew from Intact Insurance, Rebecca from Scotiabank, Ibrahim from Geotab, and Ruben from Geotab. Thank you so much. Please, everyone, share the love in those comments. Share your share anything. We want Hack the Six 2021 to really just be a place where we can share love and share appreciation for for one another. So, with that being said, we have all of our scores being inputted as we speak right now. So, closing ceremonies will happen in 15 minutes. We're going to take this time to ensure that we have our prize winners. Don't leave yet. Friends, everyone, don't leave yet. Please, hackers, don't leave. We have more coming. So in the next 15 minutes, our team will tabulate our scores and we'll share all of the prize winners. So either both the sponsor prize winners as well as our Hack the Six prize winners. So in 15 minutes, please come back to the hop-in stage where you can see if your team is a winner at Hack the Six 2021. So with that being said, my name is Carl, and thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to be your Masters of Ceremony at Hack the Six 2021.
Hello, hackers. Thank you so much for joining us for the closing ceremonies. My name's Eric.
And I'm Henry.
And I'm with Henry today. And today we are the co-chairs of Hack the Six. It's been so awesome getting to talk to all of you guys throughout the weekend. Over the weekend, there were over $16,000 in challenges and prizes. Over 102 projects were submitted, which is absolutely amazing within the span of 36 hours, plus a 30-minute grace period just to get your dev post submissions in. And that's how we make an incredible impact in the Toronto tech scene.
We also had a lot of photos submitted from hackers, so these are some of them today. You can also follow us on Instagram, where we'll be posting additional images and videos from the weekend.
Before we go into the prizes, we want to give a huge shout out to all of our sponsors. Thank you so much for supporting our event. This event would not have been possible without you. You might have had the opportunity to talk to some of our amazing sponsors over the weekend, and they've just been absolutely amazing in helping us with judging, helping us with mentorship, and also helping us connect to more hackers like you guys. So thank you to them.
Next, we have the MLH challenges. We'll have Steven from MLH to present these.
Hi, Henry and Eric. Thank you so much for allowing me to talk here at Closing Ceremony and for allowing Major League Hacking to join in and partner with you all for this great event. We had a really good time, and I want to take a little bit of time before we get into the prizes to acknowledge the hard work that the organizing team has put behind this event. I've seen this really huge organizing team come together, do a lot of really amazing things for you hackers to make the process seamless and high quality for everyone. So I'll give them a little virtual round of applause for all of their hard work. Okay, so let's continue on with the next slide. We actually have 6 possible prize categories that our partners allow us to bring to Hack the Six. And of those 6, we had submissions in 5 categories and substantial submissions. So it was really hard for us to decide as to which ones would be the winning projects, but we have come to a decision. So with that, we can go to the next slide and start with the GitHub Octocat drawing contest. So there were lots of really incredible GitHub mascot depictions, but one stood out in particular, and you can go to the next slide to see. Ahili Bhattacharya, I really liked your GitHub, especially with the 6 technologies. I thought that was really cool, considering sort of the theme of the hackathon. And so I will send you over Discord a form that you can fill out and receive your free GitHub Octocat figurine. So congratulations on this very creative idea for a GitHub Octocat. So in this next slide here, we have most creative use of Twilio. This is a fairly new prize category for us, but nevertheless, very ubiquitous technology, Twilio. So we got a lot of really great submissions. The next slide will show that Parking Assistant using OpenCV was the winner for this. This project allows you to basically find an open parking spot using computer vision to figure out where the parking spot might be, and then it sends you a very convenient text message when there's an available spot. So nice job on that one. Next slide, please. Yeah, so this next category is Best Domain Name from domain.com. And so we usually give out a prize for the most creative domain name. And so next slide, please. We actually had, can you help with my .tech? I was kind of surprised that this domain name is available because it's so creative for an idea. The concept behind the hack itself was to have one-on-one tech support. So congratulations to Can You Help With My .tech. We partnered with Cockroach Labs to give actually 2 prizes this event. One will be presented by me, which is the MLH Partnered Prize. Prize 2 on DevPost, and Prize 1, of course, presented by Cockroach Labs themselves. So I will be presenting one of these, and you can go to the next slide to find out who. It's the Refresh team. So Refresh, congratulations. You've won the MLH partnered Cockroach DB prize. So congratulations. We have best use of Google Cloud as another, this may be the final partner category if I remember correctly. And you can go to the next slide because I think it's kind of explanatory what Google Cloud is. But Karma is the winning project for best use of Google Cloud. Karma being an application that can kind of detect whether you're driving sober and reward you based on that. This is kind of interesting too because I read that in the United States it could become law that all new cars will require some kind of test to turn on to ignite their engine of sobriety. So it may be very relevant in the future, such technology. Yeah. Okay, so I was right. That was our last category. And I congratulated the organizers on such a great event at the beginning of this presentation, but at the end I want to congratulate all of the hackers because of course we don't do these events for the organizers or for the sponsors or for anyone but the hackers. And so congratulations to not only the winning hackers like this slide says, but anybody who submitted their project, who participated in a workshop, or who learned anything from this weekend. We will provide iDemoed stickers. They won't look like this, this slide. They will actually be custom made for the Hack the Six event. So you will get one if you submitted your project to DevPost. You did not have to win one of these prize categories to be eligible. So with that, I think that's the end of my presentation. Yes, so take it away, Henry and Eric, and thank you again for letting me come on and join you all.
Thank you.
Thank you, Stephen. All right, awesome. So now we'll be moving on to our sponsor challenges. So you might have met our sponsors, whether it be through sponsored booth hours or whether they helped you on your project with all of their amazing mentors. But first, going into our first prize, we have Accenture, who was looking for the most innovative use of tech, and they presented that challenge. So the solution should be promoting inclusion and accessibility in technology or reduce barriers to technology or technological bias. And the prize for this was 4 Apple Watches, which is 1 per team member. So the winner is Detective Duck. Congratulations. So Detective Duck was a really interesting project. It's a real-time Phishing detection application that prevents children from clicking on misleading links on the web. It uses a combination of ML cloud technologies and Python libraries to determine what links are fraudulent and where they are located on a specific page. So congratulations, Detective Duck.
Next, we have the Intact Innovation Challenge. Insurance often seems like a very traditional industry, but it doesn't have to be that way. The challenge was to build an innovative product to showcase how auto or home insurance can be modernized through the use of data science, machine learning, analytics, or any other technology. Products must be demonstrated to be applicable to auto and or home insurance. Use of data science and or machine learning is preferred. The prize is $1,000 cash for the winning team. And the winning team is Karma. So through machine learning and data analysis, Karma is able to quickly and accurately determine if a driver will be safe on the road by helping them create a greater transparency and less risk for Intact, their auto insurance provider. Also, introducing a gamification component, Karma makes driving safer, rewarding, and fun. Congratulations to Karma.
Congrats, guys. All right, so next we had the BMO Dinners Made Easy Challenge, and I personally would love if my dinners were made more easy. So as we all are transitioning back towards like a hybrid world of in-person events and online, we're facing the everyday challenge of what's for dinner. So BMO wanted to tackle this with their challenge, and the prize for this was a fireside chat with one of BMO's leaders. So the winners of this challenge were Tasty Dinner. So Tasty Dinner answers the question of what to eat for dinner, which is exactly what BMO was looking for, by giving inspiration with a gallery of delicious food items to look at, outputting recipes you can make with the ingredients you already have, using Vision AI from Google Cloud's Vision API for an awesome experience. So congratulations, Tasty Dinner.
Next, we have the GeoTab Challenge presented by GeoTab. Using GeoTab's telematics datasets in the most innovative ways, this team use the available data sets for sorry. So the judging will take into consideration of GeoTab's core principles, which are productivity, optimization, safety, compliance, expendability, and sustainability. The prize is an interview with GeoTab and a $100 gift card. And the winner is Surely Insured. Given location, Surely Insured provides a whole suite of information that the insurance company can use to make better decisions on insurance premium pricing. More specifically, it provides possible factors or reasons for why your client's insurance premium should be higher or lower. Congratulations.
All right, so our next challenge is from Cockroach Labs, who presented the best use of Cockroach DB challenge, which is they were looking for a hackathon app that used Cockroach DB, with the opportunity, the prize would be an opportunity to be featured on their Twitch channel, as well as having an Amazon gift card worth $100. So the winner of this is Are You Taking? So Are You Taking is the anti-scheduling app. It's a no-nonsense way to figure out if you have classes with your friends by comparing your course schedules by simply uploading an ICS file, which is very cool. So no more screenshots, only good vibes.
Congratulations. For the next category, it's the best fintech hack for young women presented by Scotiabank. The winner is an AirPod Pro for each team member. And the winner for this challenge is Resig. Resig is a budgeting tool that targets young females with useful incentives to boost self-motivation for their financial well-being. The app features a simple scale graphic visualizing the financial balancing act of the user. Congratulations.
All right, so we're down to our last sponsor challenge, and this is by Echo AR for Best Use of AR VR Challenge. So participants had to use the Echo AR platform as part of their project to have the chance to win a $50 Amazon gift card, a 3-month business year access, and the opportunity to be featured on their inspiration page, which is awesome. So the winner of this is E-commerce Arena, or ARENA. Either way, very clever name. So with this app, E-commerce Arena hopes to reduce the number of returns by putting the object the user wants to buy in front of them before they buy it, so that they know exactly what they are getting. Very cool.
Congratulations.
All right, so next we're going to be moving on to our Hack the 6 challenges. And these are the challenges that you saw that we presented in opening ceremonies, like our social media challenge. We had best design challenge, best accessibility challenge, and we'll be going through those. So for our social media challenge, if you recall, was basically making an entertaining video or taking a fun photo of your team having a really good time at Hack the 6. So we have a little bit of a recap or highlights of the weekend, and we'll be playing that.
And that was a recap.
Yeah, thank you everyone so much for joining our social media challenge. If you participated, our social media team will be posting on our social media who won this challenge. So stay tuned and stay updated on our social media platforms.
Okay, so next we have the Pixel Art Excel Sheet Challenge. The challenge was to create a pixel art of the CN Tower skyline using only Google Sheets or Microsoft Excel. And the winners will receive a $25 Uber Eats gift card. And the winners are Susan, Chen, and UC Chin. Congratulations.
Super awesome. Okay, so next we had the most memorable hacker challenge. So this was the opportunity for sponsors to give us a list of the hackers that they had really that are really memorable, that they had a really awesome time talking with. You might have met our sponsors during sponsor booth hours, whether they helped you on their projects with our sponsor mentors, but there were lots of opportunities to connect with our sponsors. So hackers who connected with sponsors were entered in an opportunity to win two of $150 gift cards. So the winners for this challenge were Rena and Amy. Congratulations, guys.
Next, we have the Hack the 6 Best Design Challenge. So the Hack the 6 design team picked submissions that were that focus a lot on aesthetics, user experience, and intuitiveness. The prize for this category is $50 gift cards for each member of the team. And the winner for this prize is Flight Bay. Congratulations. Flight Bay aims to ease the stress of post-pandemic travel and revitalize the tourism industry. It contains an universally recognized vaccine data QR code generator and country-specific COVID regulations. Congratulations.
All right, so our next challenge was the Hack the 6 best accessibility hacks. So as we're moving into a more digital platform, digital accessibility is increasingly important. Being able to have websites that are scalable for to account for all different types of disabilities are really important. Whether it's the concept or design, we decided on a project that best accommodates for digital accessibility. So the winner of this challenge was NoteSense. Congratulations, guys. NoteSense is a notes accessibility mobile application that aids users who have hearing and vision impairments to create notes based on an image or audio in real time. Very cool.
Next, we have the Hack the 6 Best Beginner Hack. This category was focused towards people who had less than 3 hackathons experience for each member of the team. The winner of this challenge will get a $50 gift card for each member of the winning team. And the winner for the challenge is Posturify. Congratulations. The application uses machine learning to monitor your body's posture and track how long you spend sitting with bad posture and notify you. If you spend too long sitting that way, it'll notify you. It will also guide you through stretching routines by monitoring your posture and guiding you into the correct position for the stretch. Congratulations.
All right, so next we have Mentor's Choice for Best Technical Portfolio. This is personally one of my favorites. If your team was using some super interesting or innovative technology for your hack, this prize was definitely for you. Design or aesthetics weren't really a factor that was considered for this prize. It's mostly how creatively you used different and innovative types of technology. So the prize for this is a $50 gift card for each winner. And the winner for this prize is OpBop. So OpBop's Chrome extension allows users to shorten and simplify any article of text to a basic reading level. Very cool, guys. Congrats.
Next, we have the Mentor's Choice Best Business Proposal category. So this category aimed at finding a hack that had the best potential to become a new startup. The winner of this challenge will get a $50 gift card for each winner. And the winner is Planet Girl Boss. Congratulations. Planet Girl Boss is a women-targeted website that has 3 main focuses: budgeting, connecting, and learning, specifically for young entrepreneurs. Congratulations. Next, we have the Hack the 6 winners.
Yay, very exciting. So here are our top 8 finalists in no particular order. Just wanted to shout out all of these amazing teams. Thank you so much for coming and presenting your really cool and innovative ideas. It was so cool to listen to all of your different projects, your ideas, and the inspiration behind them. And all of them were really awesome. But we do have prizes for 3rd, 2nd, and 1st place.
But before we get to that, we want to just read through the names just to acknowledge the great work that these top 8 teams have done this weekend. So there's Epilepsy Safe Viewer, Backlinks, Leakio, Keeper, Remedy, Grouper, HappyFix, and Disimplify. We were really impressed by your projects, and our judges had a really hard time picking between them, but we had to choose a ranking. So without further ado, for 3rd place, the winner will get a choice between a Nintendo Switch Lite or Apple AirPods. And the winner is HappyFix. Congratulations. HappyFix is a tool that monitors your webcam to help you break bad habits.
Okay, so now we're on 2nd place, and this was giving hackers the option to choose between a Nintendo Switch and an Apple Watch SE. So my personal favorite would be Nintendo Switch, but it's totally up to you guys. So for 2nd place, the winner is Epilepsy Safe Viewer. So this was personally one of my favorite projects. The team built a Chrome extension that interacts with YouTube videos and provides users with a warning in advance of seizure-inducing content, and applies a filter to allow people to continue watching the video, which is really awesome. So congratulations, guys. Definitely well-deserved.
Finally, for 1st place, what you've all been competing for, the winner of Hack the 6 2021 will get the choice between an Apple iPad mini or a Sony PS5 Digital Edition for each member. The winner of Hack the 6 2021 is Leak.io. Congratulations! Leakio is a product to prevent leaks, and they've developed a system that functions together to monitor the status of their plumbing system. Congratulations!
With that, thank you so much to all the hackers, mentors, judges, sponsors, and organizers who joined us for such an awesome 36 hours. Please get some sleep, stay hydrated, get some food. Thank you so much to everyone who joined us. Please look on our social medias. If you really enjoyed a hackathon and you're really interested in seeing how hackathons are organized, or like the behind the scenes on how hackathons are organized, look out on our social media channels. We'll be posting soon about joining the Hack the Six 2022 team. So thank you so much for joining us for an awesome weekend. And I guess we'll see you next year. Bye, everyone.
See ya.